Hey guys, welcome to another episode about SQL. So today we are going to talk about table joining. Table joining, it's a really big subject in SQL, but today we are going to cover only those basic techniques. But what is so special and what is a good side of that? There are a really small number of cases where you are going to need those techniques with new fancy keywords. So what table joining actually is, it's a feature that allows you to combine multiple columns from multiple tables into single view. Why we actually need those techniques? Let me show you in practical example. We are going to select all from our build table and I'm going to execute this. Check this out. We have a bunch of numbers. Those numbers are referencing numbers towards other columns and other tables. And for computer and for SQL structure, this is completely fine. But for you as human being, this bunch of numbers makes no sense whatsoever. What I mean by that? Let's check this number. This column is referencing our transaction table and our transaction ID number 1. Now I'm going to check that. Transaction is actually a keyword in SQL, so we need to provide this table name with these apostrophes. And now in transaction 1 we have cashier ID 1, so we need to check our cashier table. And okay, cashier number 1, it's John Johnson. So you see, with SQL structure this is completely fine. But what we actually want, when we want to see data presentation, we want to see John Johnson. We don't want to see cashier ID, transaction ID or anything else. That is the sole purpose of table joining. So I'm going to get back to our build table. And now we are going to transform this bunch of numbers into something that is much more user-friendly. How to do that? We are going to select only transaction ID from, and now I'm going to provide both build table and transaction table, and now with where keyword we are going to ask SQL to connect build transaction number and transaction ID. I'm going to run this, and as you see we have only these transaction numbers. But this is also meaningless for us. We actually want name and second name of our cashier. And how to do that? Now we are going to ask for cashier name and cashier second name, but now we need both cashier table, and we are going to provide second condition, and that is going to be that transaction cashier ID must be equals to cashier ID. And now I'm going to execute this code, and you see we have our names, names of every cashier per bill. And now I'm just going to organize this code into something pretty like this. Okay, so now what we want, let me open another tab select all from bill, just for reference. So now we have name and second name of our cashier, but we need data about item that is sold. So how to do that? Now we are going to ask for item, item name, and item price from bill, transaction, cashier, and now we need item. And now, of course, we need to provide third condition. And that is going to be, let me check in here. So we have an item that is referencing item ID. So we are going to ask SQL to connect item ID with our bill column item, and I'm going to execute this, and you see we have sugar, price, and name of our cashier. You see, everything makes sense now, but we need more data. What is there for us? So we have amount. Let's select amount. Amount, it's in bill table. I can execute this right away. So we have amount. This view we have in here now makes sense. But now I'm going to show you real power of SQL. Now we are going to do some calculation on top of this. How to do so? I want to have total price. So we are going to multiply price by amount, and then I would like to have another column, total with discount. How to do that? So after amount, we are going to ask for another column, and that is going to be item amount times, no, sorry, it's actually bill amount times item price as total, like this. But of course we need to reorganize this into something that looks nice. And now how to make that total with discount? In simple way, it's going to be bill amount times item price, but I'm going to cover this in brackets, times 0.9 as, and now I would like to make a column name with spaces, and in order to do so I have to use these apostrophes. Total with discount. And don't forget comma. So we have two new columns from these four tables and with our conditions. And I'm going to execute this code. Yeah, this is something nice. So we have item name sold by John Johnson. Price of every item it's 3.19. We sold 25 kilos of sugar. Total price is 79.75, and with discount 71.77. And now I'm going to make all of this visible. So guys, as you see, this technique, it's not complicated, but it's extremely powerful. There are basically three parts that you have to take a look. You have to take a look at this select part. So in this part, you are actually taking columns that you want to present in your view, and in what way you are going to provide first table name and then name of that column you want to pick. In this second part, you are going to provide all of tables that you want to pull data from, and this is maybe the most complicated part, and this is condition part. And how to understand this condition part the best way you can. In condition part, you are connecting your foreign key with primary key from second table. And what all of this means. So in order to connect table bill and table transaction, we have to connect foreign key bill transaction and primary key transaction ID. So those numbers must be equals. In this second condition, we are connecting cashier ID from transaction table with cashier ID from cashier table in order to get names for our cashiers. And in third condition, we are connecting bill items. So our foreign key is item that is referencing data about actual items that we are selling, and item ID from item table. So this entire story, it's not too complicated, but you need some time in order to master all of this. So guys, that's all for this episode. If you like this content, please subscribe and see ya!